Hello and welcome to another episode of Flashback Friday. I'm your host Hank McRae of Without a Face. Today I'm going to listen to the 11th album from a very legendary band known as The Cure. This album is titled Bloodflowers, and Bloodflowers was released in February of 2000, thus making this album turn 25 years old. What can I say about this band that has not already been said by those who hold it in such high regard? My understanding of this band growing up as a child of the 90s was that it was a band from the 80s, and occasionally I would hear some of their hit songs from the 80s. I liked those songs well enough, but the thought never occurred to me to listen to one of their albums from start to finish. To this day, I still think I need to explore more of their discography. I remember them being very well regarded by the goth community growing up as well, also the sad boy community. Then I can remember the singer, I believe his name is Robert Smith. I can remember him being featured on the Blink 182 album, and that was a fantastic song. I believe he was also included on another song by Churches, and I think that band's from Ireland if I'm not mistaken. Or they might be Scottish, but I thought he absolutely knocked it out of the park on that one as well. So looking over Bloodflowers, it has 9 songs on it and the runtime is almost 1 hour. So I think it's time to get to work here. The opening track is called Out of This World. Very interesting open. Faded in with some noise, and now you've got the drum brushes going with some acoustic guitars. Kind of reminds me of Jeff Buckley. Got a very dreamy electric guitar playing, very pretty melody. Now a more clean kind of jingly guitar is playing. Very layered recording here, and we're 2 minutes in. No singing yet. There it is. Very beautiful piano line after a little bit of a dissonant intro there. Really living up to the sad boy brand with that opening track, Out of This World. I thought it was a beautiful song, very good song. Loved the lyrics, the chorus was absolutely adorable. Onward to the second song now is called Watching Me Fall. Okay, we're really rocking and rolling here. Wow. About 3.5 minutes in, it's going to a really intense change here. Wow. This is an epic song. I love this song. Brilliant ending there. Oh my gosh, what a brilliant song. Watching Me Fall is epic. This song is 11 minutes and 12 seconds long. I was worried there that they were just going to fade out. That would have dampened it a little bit for me. I think that's got to be one of their best songs. I mean, clearly I would have to listen to all of their albums, but I mean, that's a very powerful song right there, taking my breath away there. Okay, next we're gonna listen to Where the Birds Always Sing. I've got kind of some international percussion going on here before the guitars come in. I love all the sonic textures that I'm hearing in the songs so far. Where the Birds Always Sing is a wonderful song. There were times where it almost was sounding like a James Bond theme song to me. Maybe that's because of one of the funkier chords that they had in it. But also lyrically what they had going on there too. I don't know, it just makes me curious, have they ever done a James Bond song before? And if not, perhaps 007 should give them a call, I don't know. I mean, if the rest of the album continues to be this strong, then this is a very overlooked album of theirs. I at least read up on it, and they had no regard whatsoever for any radio singles when they were making this. It was just purely, let's make an album, who cares what anyone thinks, let's make some music. Which, that's quite a luxury. Okay, next I'm gonna listen to a song called Maybe Someday. I already like this. This is an absolutely brilliant song. Very creative band. I'm loving the way they introduce and also close these songs. Okay, so even though The Cure did not really care about radio singles, if I was gonna choose a single, I think Maybe Someday would be the lead single there. It's more of a straightforward rock song. I love the chorus, and lyrically you're dealing with romance here, so I feel like that casts a big enough net toward the general audience out there that would have been still listening to FM radio back in these days, the year 2000. Now I'm gonna listen to The Last Day of Summer. More of a beautiful mid-tempo kind of song with the acoustic guitars and clean electric guitar. Wow. I mean, that was just a mid-tempo soft song with very sad lyrics, and this band really knows how to end their songs. I love the way that they have been curating this album. I like that song a lot. Musically, they're not doing much, but it still evokes this feeling of sadness out of me. Okay, I'm gonna listen to the next song. It's called There Is No If. Very descriptive personal lyrics here, very specific. Well, the mood has really shifted. It went from kind of this intense thing into very beautiful, majestic sound. There Is No If. Feels like a good song that could have been great. Felt like a little underwhelmed. I felt a bit teased as well. I was waiting for it to get really rocking with some real drums coming in. They had a bit of like a trip hop drum machine going, it sounded like. Still, it's not a song that I would skip either. I would still hear it again, you know. So far, this is an album that I'd be willing to listen to again. Alright, next I'm gonna listen to The Loudest Sound. Okay, that was a good song. Not great, not terrible. I really liked what he was doing lyrically here. I mean, really making me feel for him. That was another slower to mid-tempo song. If I had to choose my least favourite so far, that one is my least favourite so far, and yet I still consider it to be a good song. Now I'm gonna listen to 39. I never imagined hearing these kind of guitar solos on a Cure song. Just sounds like more traditional, you know, hair metal rock guitar solo. Felt a bit so-so on that song, really. I mean, it's a decent song, 7 minutes long. I think I kept waiting for something to happen. It had a very atmospheric feel to it, and it was more of a fast song. Maybe it's the type of song that will grow on me, but I'd rather not hear that so late in the game. Ah, okay, so the closing track here is the name of the album, Bloodflowers. Uh-oh, it's getting real epic here. About 2 minutes 45 seconds. Really shredding the guitar here. Wow, that was an epic closing to a really great album. This is, yeah, I'm very shocked to have heard this. I feel very shocked when I saw that this was an album that was gonna soon turn 25 years old, and I never really listened to a Cure album before. I thought, okay, this is an album that's released a little later in their career. I mean, assuming they had the original lineup still here, you know, most of these men would have been pushing 40, if not already pushing 50, really. And I think there's this perception when it comes to music artists specifically, because ageism does not seem to creep into other things like painting or dancing, making movies now. I mean, you've got directors who are 80 years old still making movies. But when it comes to music artists making their music, there seems to be always this assumption, oh, they make their best music when they're in their 20s, and then it's kind of downhill from there. I don't feel that's the case. It might be that the perception is, oh, their music's not as popular, it's not in the traditional mainstream media outlets as much. Thus, if you're not hearing about them as much, you just make the assumption, oh, they're not really making the hits anymore. And who cares? This is definitely an album that I'd be willing to listen from start to finish again. Out of the 9 songs on here, I enjoyed 8 of them very much so. I feel like they could have left 39 off of it. Still would have been about 50 minutes long of an album to listen to. This might be the album that turns the tide for me and turns me into a fan of The Cure, a proper fan. It makes me want to explore more of their discography and listen to a lot more of their work. Hats off to them, this is a great album. Thank you so much for tuning in to Flashback Friday. I'm your host Hank McCrae. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Maybe there's some albums you want me to listen to, I don't know. I might consider them. Hope you have a good weekend. Stay tuned for Music Monday, where I listen to newer albums. Bye.